Chitō-ryū is a style of karate founded by Tsuyoshi Chitose. The name of the style translates as Kai 1000 to China Yu style, school, 1000-year-old Chinese style. The character refers to the Tang Dynasty of China. The style was officially founded in 1946. Chitō-ryū is generally classified as a Japanese style because Chitose formulated and founded Chitō-ryū principally while living in Kumamoto, Japan. However, some modern practitioners feel it is better categorized as an Okinawan style given that its roots and techniques are firmly grounded in and derive from traditional Okinawan Toad. This belief is warranted since the style's founder, Tsuyoshi Chitose, received first the rank of Judan in 1958 and then the rank of Hanshi in 1968 from the Zen Okinawa Karate Kobudo Rangokai. Founder Tsuyoshi Chitose was born on October 18, 1898 in the town of Kumochi, Naha City, Okinawa Prefecture. He came from a martial arts lineage. His maternal grandfather was Matsumura Soken. While in Okinawa, Chitose grew up studying the art of karate, now written, as well as kobudo. In 1921, he moved to mainland Japan to study medicine. Chitose developed Chitō-ryū using his understanding of physiology to adjust traditional techniques to make them both more effective and less detrimental to the bodies of long-term practitioners. Chitose died in 1984 at the age of 86. Chitose created Chitō-ryū by combining the strength techniques from Shuri-te with those of Naha-te. While present, the influence of Tomari-te is less than that of the two previously mentioned foundation styles. Teaches Aragaki Saisho. Chitose began his training in Tote, under Aragaki Saisho in 1905. He was 7 years old and continued to train with Saisho until 1913–1914. While there is some discrepancy as to whether Chitose's first kata was Sanshin or Seisan, his book, Gunpo Karate Do, states that he learned Sanshin from Aragaki for 7 years before being taught another, also attributed to his training with Aragaki Saisho at the kata Unshu, Seisan, Dishishi, and possibly Shiho Hai. Aragaki was also a famous weapons master, leaving behind several bo and sai kata including Aragaki no Kun, Aragaki no Sai and Seizoku no Kun. One of Aragaki's most famous students was Higaonna Kanryo, a major influence of the Goju-ryu style who was also one of Chitose's primary teachers. Higaonna Kanryo, Chatu Kokian, Hanashiro Chomo, Choyumotobu, Sandachinen. Signature aspects. Signature aspects of Chitō-ryū include an emphasis on kaime, a contraction of the muscles in the lower part of the body to generate additional strength and stability in stances. The use of shibori, twisting contraction of the muscles in a specific area aimed at generating strength, rapid rotational movements, and frequent use of movement off the line of attack, taisabaki, at advanced levels are also important. Kata. The kata of Chitō-ryū are very concise and they reflect the unique and diverse training experiences of the founder. Many Chitō-ryū kata bear the same name as other traditional Okinawan kata, but the kata itself is typically very different from the original or standard version. Some of these kata may have only one or two signature moves that related to the original, and in other cases the kata are completely different except in name. There are some exceptions to this. Chitō-ryū versions of Seisan, Pasai and Shinto are nearly identical to the original Shorin-ryu forms as taught by Chatu Kokian. Overall, the higher-level kata of Chitō-ryū show a decisively strong Chinese influence compared to other karate systems. Additionally, outside and above of the standard syllabus are kata such as Unsu and Hon, which are very fluid complex kata that are undoubtedly derived from a Strong Chinese martial arts influence. Shiho-hai is a kata peculiar Chitō-ryū. There is some dispute as to the origin of this kata in the Chitō-ryū syllabus. Some sources claim the kata comes from Chitose's first teacher, Aragaki Saisho. Chitose's own book, Kempo Karate-do, states that he learned this kata from Hanashiro Chomo at Sagenji. Historically, it has been handed down from Chitose that this kata was used in the royal ceremonies of the Ryukyu kingdom. The salutation to all four sides was of great significance during these ceremonies. Some Chitō-ryū groups practice an extended diversion that contains a few additional techniques. Yusei Karate-do also includes version of Shiho-hai. Nizishi. The version of Nizishi Showa-dai found in Chitō-ryū is unlike other versions of Nizishi. The kata actually bears a closer resemblance to a Fukian white crane form called Hakutsuru. There are two versions of this kata in the Chitō-ryū syllabus, a show form and a dai form. The dai version contains an additional sequence of movements not found in the show version, but otherwise the kata are identical. The origins of the kata are credited to Chitose's first teacher, Aragaki Saisho. Nizishi is commonly used in preparation for training in Sanshin kata. Chitose also made modifications to the breathing techniques in the kata. There is a set of 11 Nizishi kaisetsu techniques which are drawn from movements in the kata and are executed with a partner. These kaisetsu cover a variety of techniques including striking, kansetsu waza, kyusho waza, and takedowns. Seisen is a kata found in both Nahate and Shuri-te lineages. The Chitō-ryū version most resembles the Shuri-te version passed on by Chatokokian. The kanji used in Chitō-ryū translates as sei, correct, san, arrangement or position. Traditionally, however, the kanji used for seisen is or 13. Seisen is possibly one of the oldest kata in Okinawa. Although not practiced in every style, seisen appears in all three major karate lineages in Okinawa: Shorin-ryu, Goryu, and Uchi-ryu. Basai. One of the most common kata in the Shorin-ryu lineages. This kata is traditionally said to have originated with Soken Matsumura. The kanji used for basai to extract or remove, sai, close, shut, or cover. The accepted translation used for basai is to storm a fortress. Although nothing in the two kanji translates to fortress, the character sai is used as part of words for fortress or stronghold, as in bosai. According to Chitose's book, Kempo Karate-do, he learned basai from Chatokokian. Chitō-ryū basai closely resembles Matsubayashi-ryu basai as well as Saibukan basai, which are other styles in the Kiin Arakaki lineage. Kiin learned his basai from a Tomari village master named Oedo Marikoken. The version practiced by Chitō-ryū is very similar to the Oedo Mari basai. Although Chitō-ryū basai is from Tomari village, it bears a striking resemblance to the Shuri versions of basai are examples of the Shuri basai. The main difference between the Shuri version and the Tomari version is that the Shuri versions are done primarily with closed fists, while the Tomari versions are primarily open-handed. Shinto is another kata common to the Shorin-ryu lineages. It includes jumping kicks and intricate hand techniques. The Chitō-ryū version is done in a north-south pattern, unlike many other versions of Shorin-ryu Shinto which are done at a northwest to southeast pattern. Sochi. While sharing a name with kata from other styles, the Chitō-ryū version of Sochi is completely different and seems to be Chitose's own creation. Distinctive elements of the Chitō-ryū version include defense and attack to all four sides and the bull-like posture with the arms. Ro-I Showa-dai in Chitō-ryū is located completely different from those in other styles, and it seems to be Chitose's own creation. variation. It borrows from Fukian white crane with movements similar to the Chitō-ryū. It is a mix of closed-fisted and open-handed techniques with a one-kneed stance at the very beginning. Tension is a complex kata with many twisting, dodging movements and complex timings. It is unique to the style in both name and form and is not found outside of Chitō-ryū-derived styles. It was probably created by Chitos and doesn't seem derived from other kata. Sanshiryu. The name of the kata Sanshiryu is pronounced irregularly. The pronunciation seems to be based on the Mandarin Chinese. It seems, from comparing this kata to kata from other styles, that this is a version of the Chitō-ryū lineage Gorjushiho, which can be found in Chitō-ryū, or various Chitō-ryū styles. It may be simply a shortened version of this kata. Kusanku. The opening of the Chitō-ryū version of Kusanku is nearly identical to the opening of the classical Chitō-ryū versions found in other lineages. However, after these initial moves, the kata departs drastically. There are two versions that are commonly practiced, the Sho and Dai versions. The Dai version doubles the length of the kata. Yusan is meant to mean dragon climbing the mountain. It is not found in any other styles of karate outside of Chitō-ryū. It is completely open-handed from beginning to end with stabbing fingers, ridge hand and knife edge blocks and palm strikes. The stance transitions are complex with the trailing leg sometimes pulling up and creating a shorter seisan dachi, which is unlike other kata in the style. There is a signature movement in the middle of the kata where the karateka stands on one leg, thrusts one hand straight up and one hand straight down, and then switches legs and hands. It is this movement that gives the kata its name. Sanchin. Like Nishishi, Sanchin is a very old kata that is also generally acknowledged as originating in southern China from the Fukian white crane style of martial art. In Chinese styles this form is practiced with the use of open hands throughout, while in Chitō-ryū there is significant use of closed hands. Ideally, it is supposed to take no less than 7 minutes to perform properly and focuses on highly developed use of breathing techniques and shime. In Chitō-ryū, Sanchin is generally considered a senior dan kata and is usually only required at levels above Yonden. Kifon kata Zenshin kotai, Jim no dosa, MP kifon dosa, Nijeyu yushichiko, Seikan no miji hidari, Shiho wari, Kifon kata richi, Kifon kata ni, Kifon kata san, Kifon dosa ichi, Kifon dosa ni, Kifon dosa san, Bunkai nasishikai zatsu. Juniko, Narj no kata, Henshu ho, Angeki ho, Hogeki ho, Yuketi ho, Hanten ho, Rinten ho, Tefho doki, Seikan no tori. Additional kata Wanzu, Ananko, Tensho, Unsu, Seijin, Hon, Rojan, Gung Fu no kata, Kobudo kata associated with Chitō-ryū Sakugawa no kun, Shushin no kun, Sezoko no kun, China no bo, Misato-yu, Tawada-yu, Jabiku-yu, Chitō-ryū, Chitō-ryū crest. The Chitō-ryū crest is an identifiable symbol often worn by Chitō-ryū practitioners regardless of affiliation as a badge. The design was based on the original crest of the Japan Karate-Do Federation founded by Toyama Kankan, of which Chitō-ryū is a member. There are 4 main parts to the Chitō-ryū crest. The outline of the crest represents Yata no Kagami, the sacred mirror of Japan, which stands for wisdom and honesty. The disc in the center of the crest is the Hinomru. The sun is the cultural symbol of Japan, and the national symbol seen on the flag of Japan. The Japanese characters seen on the crest are. These are read as Chitō-ryū Karate-Do. Sometimes the characters may indicate a region such as all US or all Japan. The fourth element is no longer used on the crest of the Japan Karate-Do Federation. It is known as clasping of the hands in the circle. The fingers clasping hands in a circle is representative of the way of karate. Many Eastern philosophies understand the belief in life as a continuity or a continual flow as seen in the mathematical symbol, the circle, a line without beginning or end. Within that circle lie two hands clasping together in apposition. Where one ends the other begins, continuously chasing each other year after year. The seasons are an example of contrasts: summer, winter, spring, and fall. Karate can also be seen to be like the seasons, hard and direct, soft and circular. It takes these two contrasting feelings to make a whole, and, in the same way, karate requires a person to be hard and direct, soft and circular. Only when a student has mastered these two elements does he or she really know the way of karate. Showa. Showa is the code of Chitō-ryū practitioners. It is often recited at the beginning and end of classes. Chitō-ryū around the world. Canada. Chitō-ryū is a popular mainstream karate style in Canada. There are almost 60 Chitō-ryū dojo in 8 of Canada's 10 provinces. Chitose first visited Canada in 1967, accompanied by protégé Mamoru Yamamoto. This trip was organized by Masami Tsuruoka, recognized as the father of Canadian karate by Black Belt magazine, who was then head of Chitō-ryū in Canada. During this trip, Chitose presided over events at the Canadian National Karate Tournament in Toronto and conducted clinics at dojo across Canada. The current head of the Chitō-ryū style, the son of Chitose, continued this practice, conducting clinics in Canada for Chitō-ryū practitioners approximately every other year. However, in 2008, a rift occurred between the Canadian Chitō-ryū Karate-Do Association and the Japanese parent organization. The result was that the Canadian Association and approximately three-quarters of the Canadian dojo agreed to separate from Japan and became independent. Dojo in British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Prince Edward Island and Nova Scotia remain associated with the parent organization in Japan. The Canadian Chitō-ryū Karate-Do Association is now an independent organization headed by Shane Higashi, who formerly held the titles Kyoshi and the Vice Honbacho for Chitō-ryū. Higashi was recently awarded the title of Hanshi and 9th Dan. Higashi studied under Masami Tsuruoka, becoming his first black belt student, and also briefly lived with and studied under Chitō-ryū founder Chitose. Higashi and Tsuruoka were inducted into the Canadian Black Belt Hall of Fame in 2007 and 2006, respectively. The others, who chose to remain loyal to the Japanese parent organization, formed the new organization Chitō-ryū Canada ICKF. Chris Tanada, Kyoshi and 7th Dan, is the most senior instructor. Australia. The International Chitō-ryū Karate-Do Federation of Australia is the governing association for Chitō-ryū dojo in Australia. Chitō-ryū was introduced to Australia by Vance Prince in 1969, after studying in Toronto, Canada under Shane Higashi. He trained for 3 months in Kumamoto, Japan under Tsuyoshi Chitose. His first dojo was the North Sydney Leagues Club. Over the next 6 years, Prince trained and qualified 6 black belt students, who went on to establish clubs throughout Australia. Prince was also a founding member of the Federation of Australia Karate-Do organizations. In the late 1970s, Bill Kerr was appointed president and Honbacho for Chitō-ryū in Australia. He later gained the rank of 4th Dan. In 1991, Kerr retired from active involvement in Chitō-ryū. Upon his retirement, Brian Hayes was appointed president and Honbacho by Chitose. In November 2004, Michael Noonan was appointed to represent Chitose and the ICKF in Australia as Honbacho. Noonan currently teaches at the Taseigan Dojo in Sydney and has been granted the rank of 6th Dan and Renshi. United States of America. United States Chitō-ryū Karate Federation. The United States Chitō-ryū Karate Federation is an independent, non-profit federation of Chitō-ryū dojo in the United States. It was established by William J. and Barbara E. Demetric. The Hombu Dojo is located in Covington, Kentucky, USA. Yoshu Kai Karate Association. The USA Yoshu Kai Karate Association is a karate association headed by Michael G. Foster. Yoshu Kai is a Japanese karate style adapted from Chitō-ryū by Mamoru Yamamoto. Foster was originally named the director of the USA Yoshu Kai Karate Association in 1966 by Mamoru Yamamoto, when it was affiliated with the United States Chitō-ryū Karate Federation. In this capacity, Foster established and headed a number of karate schools which were then part of the United States Chitō-ryū Karate Federation. The dojo became independent Yoshu Kai schools 1971. Koshin-ha Chitō-ryū Karate Association. The Koshin-ha Chitō-ryū Karate-do Association was formed in 2004 by several senior-ranking American Chitō-ryū practitioners. Unlike many martial arts organizations run by a single person, the Koshin-ha is governed by two groups of individuals, senior practitioners and dojo chief instructors. Bibliography. Kempo Karate-do, Universal Art of Self-Defense by Tsuyoshi Chitose. ISBN 0-968779107. The seminal textbook by the founder of Chitō-ryū Karate-do, The Endless Quest, The Autobiography of an American Karate Pioneer by William J. Demetric. ISBN 0-968779115.